Hey, what is up, mortals? It is Robo Celestial here with a new video for you. Welcome to the part 3 of What If Deku Got One for All Early Season 3. I just wanted to greet you guys by just saying, sit back and relax, you're in for a treat. So, we begin. Shifts in the leaves caught Yaoyorozu off guard. She was unsure what it was. Then out of nowhere, Izuku's shoe came crashing through the Namu's cheek, dislocating its jaw as it sent flying. Shortly after this was followed up by Todoroki drawing a pillar of ice to stab through the Namu's joints, keeping it subdued in between each pillar. Todoroki: I think I got the rest from here. Please take these two and head back to camp. Got it. Todoroki carries Yaoyorozu on his shoulders. Her muscles gave out due to her low stamina. Awais followed suit, giving Midoriya a nod before running off. Izuku nodded back as he stood before the rampaging but subdued Namu. In another part of the forest, Aizawa stepped out from behind some trees limping a bit. His left arm simmered with burnt skin. Behind him are Twice and Dabai, unconscious and tied to a tree using some of Aizawa's binding cloth. They were a lot harder to defeat than I thought they would be. Aizawa kept pushing forward, losing himself in the forest. That was until he saw a few students running away. He chased after them, catching up eventually. What's going on? Tree leaves shuddered with each passing rumbled vibration. Are those footsteps? Shinso glanced over at Aizawa. A massive relief rushed down his back. Sir, we are being chased by the League of Villains leader and one of his lackeys. The giant one who is now following us. Where is Vlad King? He was supposed to keep you safe. Monoma looks down on the floor as they run away, and a couple of tears come down his face. It was hard to make out that he was crying because they were all running, though the silence in itself was evident enough to assume the worst. I see. The students and Aizawa keep running. On the way they cross paths with Todoroki. Upon seeing the giant, he held his wrist as half of his body overflowed with ice. He launched a massive ice attack towards Gigantomachia. The entire region around the giant was encapsulated in ice. There were pillars pinning the giant in the air after the attack was executed. It took Todoroki a moment to catch his breath. New record. After some time he activated his fireside, balancing out his temperature. He faced the group, who were still in awe by his accomplishment. We don't have much time here. It will only block him for a minute at most. Follow me. Aizawa recollected himself as they all began to run. He asked questions. Do you have a plan, Shoto? We're heading to the clearing. Midoriya told us to meet him back there. I'm not sure what he has in store. We were in a hurry. Shinso: we shouldn't be underestimating the League. They did manage to kill All Might, right? Kaminari: they did. Bakugo: I trust Midoriya. I think we can win here. Gigantomachia snapped the ice penetrating his body. He took a few deep breaths, recovering from the hypothermia. Master. He resumed his pursuit of the students. In another part of the forest, Tetsu and Kendo managed to vanquish over the villain muster. Tetsu: we did it. Kendo takes off the gas mask she had on. Kendo: yes, we did. Are you okay though? I mean, you just got shot in the face. Tetsu: I'm fine. I took plenty of iron this morning. I can keep going for a bit more. Kosai: Tsubora then rushes out of the bushes, out of breath. Kosai: great. I thought I heard your voices. Kendo: are you okay, Kosai? Kosai: just fine, just a bit out of breath. Kosai looks around, noticing mustard on the floor. Kosai: what happened here? Tetsu: we were awesome, just like Class 1A, we defeated a villain. Kendo: why are you here, Kosai? Kosai: oh yeah, I almost forgot. We need your help. Midoriya of Class 1A is organizing a full frontal assault against the villains. He wants me to get as much help as I can before going back. Are you in? Tetsu and Kendo look at each other for a moment. Kendo: yes, we are in. What do we need to do? Kosai: Tetsu. And Kendo then run back to the clearing. In a different part of the forest, Ochako and Tsuyu were making advances against Toga. Oh, goody new friends. She hid her lips behind her over-length sweater sleeves. You guys are cute too. Toga charges at Uraraka, drawing out a knife while flipping it between her fingers. Her movements were unpredictable and had plenty of finesse to boot. Her physique was small as well, empowering her agile way of fighting. She sliced at Ochako's limbs. Luckily, with her training from Gunhead, she outmaneuvered her opponent and even pinned her to the floor, subduing her. Toga: you have some nice moves, Ochako. I see you are very determined here. Is it because you like someone? Uraraka blushes and loses her composure. Toga uses the opportunity and frees herself. She grabs another knife and charges at Tsuyu, wanting to stab her. Toga: come on, let us see some blood. You'll look really cute. Zero comes in through the forest and sees what is happening. He reacts by shooting tape and taking away the knife from Toga. Zero. What exactly is going on here? Uraraka. Zero. Yoga turned to Zero and charged using her syringe. Zero stumbles back as she charges at him. Not knowing what to do. Toga, oh. Goody, a new friend. Let's see some of that blood. Tsuyu shoots out her tongue, grabbing onto Toga's arm. Toga looks surprised at Tsuyu. Toga, oh, right, I can't neglect you guys. Toga cuts Tsuyu's tongue and charges at them. Uraraka gained her composure, charging at Toga. Uraraka. We are done here. Toga reacts. She grabs her syringe and tries to stab Uraraka. Uraraka grabs Toga's arm and shirt, using herself as a pivot, and throws Toga against a tree. Uraraka. Zero, now. Zero stutters for a moment since he doesn't know what Uraraka wants him to do. Uraraka. Use your tape, Zero. Zero, oh. All right. Zero then uses his tape to trap Toga against the tree. Toga tries to struggle out of it. Toga. Let me out. I want more blood. Zero then hits Toga over the head, knocking her unconscious. Zero, you've caused enough trouble. Uraraka helps Tsuyu up. Uraraka. Are you okay, Tsuyu? Tsuyu can't stand on her own and needs Uraraka to hold her. Tsuyu, just a bit hurt. Can't stand too much. I think she cut one of my legs. Uraraka turns to Zero. Uraraka. Thanks for helping out, but why are you here? Zero, oh, right. Midoriya came up with a plan to defeat the villains. Uraraka. Midoriya did. Zero, I was supposed to go get help to fight them. Uraraka. Tsuyu, do you think you can go? Tsuyu, no. But I think you should. Leave me here. I'll be fine. You go help. Uraraka. Are you sure? Tsuyu, yes. Ribbit. Uraraka finds a satisfying location to hide Asui. She and Zero then return to the clearing. The 3 Class B students arrive at the clearing. These are Tetsu, Kendo, and Kosai. After them, the next group to arrive is Uraraka and Zero. Zero, where are the rest? Kendo. We don't know, we just got here. Todoroki and the remedial students then come running. Zero, what's going on? Todoroki. He's after us. Kosai, who? A rumbling is heard in the woods as a giant starts making his way towards them. Zero, oh crap. The students that were gathered start running as well. As they do, a small dim light shines from inside the forest. Izuku flourished in front of the group. His outfit was still torn and Black Whip was still holding his body structure in place. A flash of light followed behind him as he zipped past the group. He smashed Gigantomachia, making him stumble back. Todoroki. Is that Midoriya? Bakugo, huh? You bet. Todoroki. How much power does he have? Midoriya lands on the ground after that attack and the students gather around him. Uraraka. That was amazing, Deku. Midoriya blushes a bit. Midoriya. Thanks, wasn't much. Yaoyorozu uses her quirk. The remaining lipids she had in her body were siphoned. Yaoyorozu. This is for you guys. She pulled out of the bag a couple of gauntlets and handed them to Bakugo. The gauntlets are smaller than in the regular version but still effective. As he sees them, a huge grin forms on Bakugo's face. She also grabs some binding cloth, a metal mask, and some other small items, handing them to Shinso. Yaoyorozu ran out of energy. She couldn't make any more support items for the classmates. The students put on the support gear that she had just made and got ready. Gigantomachia pushed himself up from the floor. He grabbed a tree by the base of its log and charged at Izuku, swinging the entire tree at him. Izuku had mere moments to block. He raised his forearms as the tree made impact. Once again, the bones in his forearms fractured. It launched him far, but he was caught by Todoroki, conjuring an ice ramp for him to slide down. As he slid down, he prepared his full cowling. Black Whip once again having to reinforce his forearms from the tree attack. Midoriya. One for all, 80% full cowling. Midoriya jumps back into the air going at extreme speeds, and Gigantomachia's fist is met by Midoriya, creating a huge shockwave. Midoriya started falling towards the ground, and as Gigantomachia prepared for another attack, Bakugo used his explosions and jumped into the air, blasting Giganto in the face, making him stumble. Midoriya fell and Black Whip entangled itself around Izuku's body and snapped straight towards some trees, catching Izuku, whose body went limp from his bones, displacing for the time that Black Whip was unraveled from his body. When the falling grinded to a halt, Black Whip reattached itself to Izuku, reinforcing his body back into a stable state. Izuku took a deep breath. The pain that ran through his entire body was otherworldly. He coughed up blood on the floor when Black Whip dropped him and reinforced itself on his body. It rebinded all of his limbs to face the right direction. Fractures of bone laid in the puddle of blood as he got back up. Gigantomachia stood there waiting for him. He went to slap Izuku, But the young hero pushed back with all of his might, his feet dragging against the dirt. Izuku hugged the giant's index finger and flipped over it, twisting the finger backwards. He roared in pain as he grasped his hand. Master, Izuku leaped up, sending an omnidirectional shockwave out from his takeoff. He aimed his fingers at the wound Todoroki made before and flicked a dense air bullet to the injury. Midoriya. One for all 90% Delaware Air Force flick. Midoriya lands on the ground and Todoroki freezes Giganto's feet. Uraraka then touches Izuku. He begins to float. He propels himself to the sky, rocketing into the air once more. Midoriya. One for all Colorado crush. His fist slammed down on the top of Giganto's cranium. His upper spine snapped in half. He fell forward with little to no resistance, crashing down with a shockwave. Izuku landed shortly after. His appendages were a dark purple from his broken bones and bruised muscles. Black Whip was the only thing holding his body together at this moment. Bakugo. Are you alright, Deku? Your whole body looks like crap right now. Midoriya. I'm fine, thanks. Trees and flora surrounding the group of students began disintegrating into dust after some time. Shigaraki. Well, what do we have here? My best friends, all in one place. Shigaraki raises his hand at them and points at Midoriya. Shigaraki. I think it's time you died, don't you? Thank you all for sticking around and I hope that you enjoyed. Before you leave, we would just like to let you know that We the Celestials has many other channels for your entertainment and viewing purposes. All the information you'll need is right below here in the description. So feel free to check out all the other incredible projects our team creates. Secondly, on behalf of We the Celestials, I'd like to thank everyone involved in the production of today's awesome content. Their details will be in the description below. That's all for today's video. So goodbye and have a divine day.